following episode of Dave's Video Graveyard contains spoilers and naughty words. Listener discretion is advised.
Have you ever bought or rented a videotape that wasn't quite right? It may have been a pirate copy.
Ratings advice. Use it. It's on every...
We're going streaking!
Dave's Video Graveyard.
That guy in a little coat.
At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
I'm not a smart man.
Shut up! One tubby.
What's wrong with him?
My first thought would be alive.
Why so serious?
Wise man say forgiveness is divine, but never pay full price for late pizza.
Hail to the king, baby.
Hey, Mom! The meatloaf! We want it now! The meatloaf!
Of all the radio shows in the world, this is definitely one of them. Dave's Video Graveyard on 100.5 WOWFM.
Okay. You people sit tight, hold the fort, and keep the home fires burning. And if we're not back by dawn, call the president.
It is 100.5 WOWFM, Dave's Video Graveyard. A massive pleasure to be with you, whatever it is you may be doing down in beautiful Semaphore is where we are. And this evening, I have a very special guest joining me. He has a film festival coming up next weekend down in beautiful Semaphore. So it's good not only that there's a local film festival, but it's right in our own back garden. We are joined right now by Julz Jansen from the Soulpunch Film Festival. How you doing, man?
Good, man. How are you?
Very well, very well. Now, like I just said there in the lead-in, it is so good not only to have a film festival happening again, but one right here in beautiful Semaphore.
We were looking at a lot of cinemas in Adelaide, and we spoke to, I reckon, every cinema in Adelaide. But we got onto Joe at the Odeon Star.
Yep.
And let me tell you, man, it is probably the most incredible cinema we've got here in Adelaide. You know, and I'm not being biased just because Soulpunch Film Festival is being held there. It is absolutely incredible. It's a heritage building. There's a lot of history there. It started in 1920 as a German cinema.
Yep.
And then they got shut down when everybody got TVs and stopped going to the cinema. And then I think it was Joe's dad who brought it back to life in the late 60s, maybe early 70s.
Yep.
It might be off on the timeline a bit, but it's got a lot of history. You go in there and you just, you feel the atmosphere,
100%. And there's the age is part of the charm of that building. Like, it is such a beautiful building, but it's not hiding what it is.
Exactly.
And you can't fake the authenticity of that building. So
when you drive down there, the big Odeon sign, it just feels like an old school cinema, and you don't really get that experience anywhere else,
Now, tell me, what inspired you to not only make your own short film, but to build a whole festival?
Yeah, so the idea was we're going to make a short film, we're going to screen it, we wanted to play it at a cinema. My friend and I who wrote the film, big cinema lovers. So, you want to feel it, you want to hear it on the proper sound system and everything. And it's a 14-minute film, so we thought, all right, we'll get a bunch of other people that have some short films they want to show. And then it blew out. We got so many submissions for films, so then we had to be selective because obviously we couldn't hire the cinema out for a week and play everyone's film, so we couldn't say yes to everyone like we originally wanted to.
Yep.
So we thought if we're going to be selective and make it a bit of a competition and have a bit of a selection process, why not just make a festival, brains collided. We ended up with the name Soulpunch Film Festival for a variety of reasons, and it just snowballed from there and turned into this incredible event. We sold out the smaller cinema in like a week, and then we were tossing up whether or not to move to the bigger cinema. We're glad we did because now we've sold a bunch more tickets. There's still some left, but doubled the capacity.
That's
and it's
awesome.
Still jump on Soulpunch Film Festival Instagram, follow the link there, get yourself a ticket. We aligned with the ethos of the Odeon Star, so our tickets are only $9. Because if you didn't know, Odeon Star, every session, anytime, all tickets $9, which is incredible in itself.
Not gouging.
Like, you can't get much better than that, man. Go see a film for $9, at an incredible cinema. Owned by incredible people, so we're just happy to be aligning with them and for them to be on board with Soulpunch.
Yeah. Now, are you going to blame someone else, or are you going to admit it yourself with the selection process? What were you looking for?
So I mean, we were looking for films that punch you in the soul, Dave. You know what I mean? Like films that either punch you in the soul or make your soul want to punch someone else.
Nice.
And that was the main criteria.
So how long have you wanted to inspire violence?
We don't feel like it's violence. We feel like it's, a form of...
a dignified rage.
The soul being punched, it doesn't leave any permanent physical damage, as much as it changes a person, internally.
And what were some things you were looking for when you were going through the films? Did you want...
Yeah, so we were looking for, obviously films that inspire some sort of thought or deep thinking, and then we thought, is there such thing as a comedic soul punch? So then we looked for, also we wanted a few comedies in there to mix it up a bit. We didn't just want it heavy drama, dark, deep. So we found a few comedies that we like to call comedy soul punch. There's some really, really great films. The amount of submissions we received was overwhelming. We're a small team at Soulpunch, and going through them all was incredible. Getting to see the amount of talent there is. We most of the submissions, I think about 90% of them came locally from local filmmakers, which is incredible. And if they weren't 100% local, the team was made up of mostly local filmmakers.
How good's The Body? It's so cool that they got Adam.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, he friend of the show. He's been in a couple of times. I still am begging him to make an official poster for The Body, where he uses a reef from every film festival he's been a part of, and it just be like a it'll look like a Soundwave or like a music festival poster.
So we interviewed Adam on our Instagram live as well, and he reckons he submitted it to, he said, over 250 festivals.
I believe it, because it's been in
he just must have pumped it. He said he spent more submitting it to film festivals than he did making the film.
I would believe that 100%. Yet he still doesn't use a microphone on the internet to talk to people. Good job, Adam.
Yeah.
No, well, that's cool. It's awesome. Good. Another avenue. Was there anything that you ummed and ahed and without naming names, that you let through? You're like, it's not necessarily what we're after, but it's different. Was there any of that, or you can't reveal that?
Oh, Dave, you're asking the tough questions, man. There was one film that we let through.
Is that the one you were just saying before we started that sucked? Is that the one?
I was actually gonna say the name. I can't now.
You didn't say it.
No.
You didn't.
None of them suck, but we did let one through that I feel will add a lot of value to this filmmaker's early career. Let me just say that.
Awesome.
Yeah. And we wanted this will probably give it away, but we wanted at least one student film in there, just to give a bit of inspiration to a student filmmaker. Yeah.
And if you're going to promise to have variety, then you've got to have variety.
Right.
So that's good.
That's right. And in terms of Soulpunch, we feel that this student for what it was a Soulpunch in its own right.
And I'm not accusing you of having a horse in your own race, but future winner of the festival, Melissa.
Yeah, so our short film will be screening at the festival. It won't be part of the awards. It won't be part of the actual program, the film festival program, because, as I said, the original idea for Soulpunch came from the fact that we wanted to screen Melissa, our short film, on the big screen. So this will be the first screening of Melissa, and then we might go back and make a few changes based on what the vibes are, and before it gets released out into the festival circuit.
Is it true that Melissa is like a gritty early days of Melissa George's career on Home and Away documentary movie?
It's a little bit of a biopic meets it halfway turns into animation, and then you get there's a little bit of a sci-fi vibe, towards the end, and then we go back to, child-friendly family drama again. Yeah.
And I've got to say, peek behind the curtain, you did let me see Melissa.
Yeah, I did. What did you think, Dave?
I've got to say, it is the feel-bad hit of the summer.
Yeah.
Like, it's fantastic. I think it is... There's something about a lot of independent Aussie film where sometimes they lean way too heavy on grittiness, and it's like, oh, don't worry about the acting, we'll just be gritty.
Yeah.
I think it was a really good, well-rounded product because it was like, not saying product, but it had a good bit of everything. Like, the acting was good, the production was good, like everything about it was good. The music was horrendous. Like, no, of course, another peek behind the curtain. You were responsible for the music.
Yeah. So I'm not personally responsible, but it turns out that I'm actually related to a guy that was in a band called the Dogheads. My wife's dad was actually in a band called the Dogheads in the late 70s, early 80s.
He's in Egypt now? Is that the same guy?
Yeah, no. So his band members, there was two of them. They called themselves the Dogheads. So Alex Tomlin, my wife's dad, was the guitarist, and then the other guy, Ricky Dufresne, same last name as the famous prisoner from Shawshank.
Yep.
So Ricky Dufresne, he was the lyricist and the brains behind the operation, pretty much. And he got offered, fame and glory, and he turned it all down to move to Egypt because he heard that there was actually a spaceship in one of the pyramids and he could fly it away.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's always good to believe in something like that.
Yeah, well, he worshipped the Egyptian god Anubis, so
hence the name, the Dogheads.
Yeah.
He must be a huge fan of the Fifth Element as well.
Yeah,
and
he's into
Stargate.
all that stuff. Well, he actually is the one who opened the Stargate portal.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome and definitely something to check out. And I loved Selleck's Beach. Is that
no? So the original Melissa plan was the Fluorio Film Festival. The guy who co-runs that, Christopher Warman, used to shoot a few videos for me. He runs the Fluorio Film Festival, and he's been saying to me for a while, when they first started, enter a film, because I've always been into film. So I was a projectionist for a long time, and then so I've always been into film and always wanted to make films, but just never really got around it. I was pretty heavy into music production, etc. He's been saying to me for ages. So me and my friend sat down, we had a bit of time, we thought, let's enter a film into the Fluorio finally. So we sat down, we wrote it, and their theme this year was dreams. So we had that theme there, and then we also wanted to make the locations on the Fluorio Peninsula. We wrote a 10-page script, hoping we'd cut it down to about 8 minutes. Turns out, it blew out a bit, so it ended up being a 14-minute film, and Fluorio are asking for, I think, 8 minutes and under this year. So unfortunately, we probably can't submit it into their film festival. But thanks, Fluorio Film Festival, for the inspiration behind actually getting around to finally making a film, because there'll be plenty more to come.
What are the loopholes that are involved if you and someone else submitted half and half?
Part one and part two.
Part one and part two.
Well, as you know, Melissa's already Chapter 3 Melissa, and part of a greater story, as I shared with you earlier, Dave.
Because you're going to do all the female cast members of Early Days Home and Away.
Yeah, all of them. Isla Fisher,
There'll be Isla Fisher. Yeah. There's a whole Dita Blummer section as well.
Yeah. So there'll be lots of them.
I'm really hanging out for the Irene and Bobby saga. That's going to be great.
Yeah. Old Irene, though, she won't sign off. We tried to get her, but she just won't sign the papers.
She's being a diva because she heard that Alster's holding out for more money.
Yeah. Well, Alster's already done in post-production. We're just getting the legal team to sign all that off now, so it shouldn't be too long before that's out.
And anyone out there that understands what we're talking about right now, it's probably time to take your pain relief, because we're going way back to when the diner had the hamburger phone.
And Alf and Duncan and the famous scene, I'm going to beat the shit out of you, Duncan, whipping the belt off.
Yeah. Doodleburger back in the day. Nicely done. So tell us who is involved with the festival. Give us a bit of an idea of the skeleton crew to run things.
So the crew is myself and a guy called NJ Batty. Me and him have been creative partners and working on a lot of stuff for a long time. We released a mockumentary. I've been calling it a documentary, but it's time to call it what it is. It's a mockumentary. So for everyone who thinks I've totally lost it, it's meant to be sarcastic. It's okay. Released that at the start of this year, I think in March. It's called Emptying the Vase. Check it out on YouTube. It's called Emptying the Vase award-winning documentary, which is, a 48-minute mockumentary. It's a good watch if you've got 48 minutes one night at about 1:30 a.m. and you're feeling in a certain state.
Yep,
chuck it on. Chuck it on.
Imagine.
I'll send you the link, Dave. You'll probably get into it. Yeah. So yeah, me and Nathan are the only two doing stuff, and I mean, my wife helps out, and his wife helps out probably more so with moral support than actual, admin support. But that's okay.
Yep. What can you tell us about what you've curated? Can you give us a rundown of some of the things that you've featured?
Yeah, I can. So the films that we're playing are, so we've got The Way the Wind Blows, which was shot on Super 8mm film by a guy called William Helm.
And it's a movie about farting.
Yeah, and it's all about, it's actually about the origin of windsocks at airports.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So it's actually really riveting stuff.
I don't know which sounds better. I want bit of A, bit of B. That'd be a great film.
Finding Freya, about the search for a Viking superstar to I think it's a theatre show that they're casting her for. So that's another mockumentary, and that's really good. That was they made that as part of the 48-hour film festival.
Oh, nice. Yep.
Yeah. Nick Buckland, one of the guys who runs AAA Talent Agency, was the director, producer, writer, actor in that film. It's really cool. Waiyiri, which is written by Kate Bonney, and she also stars in it along with Natasha Wanganeen, which is a film about early settler days on Nurrunjeri land. So that's a really cool film. I actually caught that one at Flickerfest, so I'm glad that's in there as well. A film written and directed by Stephanie Jacklin called In the Wake, which is, sort of what you were saying about indie filmmaking trying to be really dark and gritty, except the acting is really good in that.
Yeah, well,
and the direction is good. So, I mean, I think if you want to go down that road, you have to make sure the acting's good. Otherwise, it comes across as a bit cheesy.
Well, because usually you get that, and they're like, "Oh, we'll just get David Wenham to be addicted to something, and we'll get Ben Mendelsohn to lisp over the top of it, and it'll be gritty as."
Yeah.
That doesn't make a great film.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. I think you need that substance, and you need actors that know what they're doing, and directors that know how to get the actors to know what they're doing.
Definitely.
So yeah,
and this brave new world that we're living in, with the way the world's going now, there's kind of a vacuum for creativity, and it's like nothing is getting churned out from your usual cookie cutter places.
Exactly.
So it's kind of time for the uprising of the indies, if you will. Yeah,
well, it just feels like almost like a whole new wave of art cinema, like what I'm seeing here, like especially in Adelaide at the moment. There's just like it's like bubbling up from beneath, Yeah, it's really cool to see it and to be part of it at the moment as well. It's like awesome.
Definitely. That really sounds awesome. Tell everyone where to get tickets.
Yeah, so you can get tickets. The site's called Tickety Boo, and they're like an event ticketing site. They're actually Australian run, and they've been absolutely fucking phenomenal helping us. Like they answer emails in like a couple of hours.
Wow.
Their fees are like really, really low. So if you ever have an event that you want to run, Tickety Boo's an amazing site.
So it's not just a clever name.
Yeah, and they set up your event page and everything for you, which is good because, like I said, we're a two-man team, and the admin stuff sometimes gets ahead of us, because we both got really severe ADHD, so it's hard for us to
And I highly recommend for people not just to check out these films involved, but check out your film festival, because, like you said, it is holding place in a cinema where the cinema's a character itself.
Exactly.
So it adds to the experience and the atmosphere.
Yeah.
So I reckon it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, like I literally sat there today with Joe, the guy who's running the Odeon Star, sat there next to him, and we were watching the films together in the cinema, just us because it's closed on Mondays. And, he's such a cool guy. Like, he's into the films, he's into it, and he said he's always wanted to do something like this there, so he's really glad that we came along to do it. And we're actually in talks at the moment. This is a big, world first announcement on Dave's Video Graveyard, big announcement.
All of our listener.
We've been into the big announcements lately. We're actually in talks about doing a summer Soulpunch festival.
Nice.
And maybe even opening it up to international submissions.
Yeah.
Yeah, and holding it at the Odeon Star again. So exciting
You got to
stuff.
put when you announce it though, you got to put more emphasis on the end of summer.
Yeah.
So it's some asshole.
Some asshole punch.
Yeah. No, that sounds great. I'm all for it. That sounds great.
I thought you'd be into it.
I've watched that kind of stuff
Thought you'd be
before.
into it, yeah.
Awesome. Let's get into a little bit of music, and when we come back, I want to find out about you when it comes to films.
All right.
So it should be
Excellent.
good.
Look forward to
This
it.
is 100.5 WOWFM.
Taking a look at the best of the worst and the worst of the best of all things film. Dave's Video Graveyard on 100.5 WOW FM.
First kiss, head first into the abyss of love. Now I'm drowning in these wasted tears. Come and save me, help me face my fears. One more time tonight, baby, we can make this right. Come on, let me feel your heart. I just can't survive without you by my side. Come on, help me steal the stars. My only dream is to be with you. There isn't anything I wouldn't do for you. I'll be your ocean, I'll be your sky. Just let me hold you in my arms again tonight. Into the abyss, I'm done. You really have to save me now, please, or the devil's gonna take me down. One more time tonight, baby, we can make this right. Come on, let me feel your heart. I just can't survive without you by my side. Come on, help me steal the stars. My only dream is to be with you. There isn't anything I wouldn't do for you. I'll be your ocean, I'll be your sky. Just let me hold you in my arms again tonight. I'll be your sky. Just let me hold you in my arms again tonight.
But I think that the music was a little loud.
Are you afraid of it?
No, I just don't like techno.
You would if you had robot ears.
All the movies, none of the knowledge. This is Dave's Video Graveyard on 100.5 WOW FM.
I hate your face.
Did you say something?
It is DVG, and we are joined by a guest with one of the coolest names of any guest ever, Julz Jansen. I hope that's your real name. Don't tell me if it's not, because it is.
Oh, it definitely is. I came out like that.
And Ast in it. All good. So we gave you the high fidelity quiz where we get to know a little bit about you as a film watcher.
Yeah.
But before we get to that, because it isn't a guest choice special, I wanted to know, what are the movies that made you fall in love with cinema?
I remember my mum took me to see Jurassic Park at the cinema when I was about 4, I think. And then when I was 7, she took me to the drive-in to watch Braveheart.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty brutal movie for a 7-year-old.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mum. Lot to answer for in terms of childhood trauma, but that's okay. That's another story for another day.
We were different. We're a different generation. I remember going and seeing Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, in the back of a station wagon that didn't have belts in it.
Yeah.
And we're just in the back the whole time. So.
I remember the Robin Hood, what was it, Men in Tights?
Men in
the
Tights,
comedy one?
yep.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Nice.
With the chastity belts and stuff. Yeah, that was one of my childhood films as well.
So what are the other movies that made you fall in love with cinema?
I mean, I was exposed to a lot of films that I probably shouldn't have been at a young age.
So other than pornography, what were the movies you enjoyed?
There was lots of X-rated stuff around, World Sex Tour number 189, all that kind of stuff.
A classic.
I remember me and my brother, Pulp Fiction, went what was that, 94, so I would have been about 6, and I remember him sneaking it and us putting it in the VHS player and the little TV that was all shonky. So he got into Tarantino young, and but I've always been into everything, such a range. I used to watch, for anything from Disney to that kind of stuff, Disney to, Romper Stomper and films like that. So I've just always been exposed to such a range of stuff, man. And, just the way I operate, I used to watch everything. And I mean, I still do. The only thing I sort of don't get into as much now is the horror stuff.
Yep.
Used to get into that quite a bit, and it just got a bit too
shock
factor.
I don't mind horror, but I think Eli Roth has a lot to answer for, because he ruined horror for a bit.
They just started taking it too far, man.
Yeah, 100%. And, I also, on the other end, I don't like movies that are in on the joke.
Yeah.
I'll appreciate a horror movie that's so bad it's good.
Yeah.
But the likes of Sharknado and all that kind of stuff just bothers me, because I'm like, you can't be in on the joke. Some of the charm is that you're self-serious.
I think the last couple I watched were the human centipedes and stuff, and then I was just like, man, where are they going?
It's that is just that's not filmmaking.
Yeah.
I actually watched one on, funnily enough, watched one on Netflix of all places this week.
Yeah.
And it is so far above the quality of Netflix, made for Netflix horror.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to tell everyone how good this is, but it's on Netflix, and that instantly people go, oh yeah, it sounds real great.
Yeah.
But it's called Blood Red Sky.
Okay.
And it's essentially the story of the movie Turbulence, except there's a vampire on the plane.
There you go.
That's
sounds
all
right.
you need to hear.
Yeah,
It's garbage. All right, let's get into the questions.
Yeah.
What was your local video store growing up?
Yeah, so I had a couple. I had a Metro Video up on Prospect Road. That's the first one I remember going to by myself. I used to walk up to Main North Road. Was it Atlantic Video, the real big one up there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Once I remember when I was working at McDonald's when I was about 13, 14 years old, I remember stealing money out of someone's wallet in the change room. Just to rent a DVD or
nice.
It was pretty bad. I ended up getting busted and had to pay him back, but...
Do you remember what you hired?
Yeah, I do. It was Wild Thing.
Nice.
I reckon.
With Kevin Bacon and Neve Tot.
Yeah. Lots of topless action, lots of lesbian stuff.
I know it well. I know it well.
Yeah. 13, 14, what else are you going to rent?
You know what that is? That's a victimless crime right there. All right, pretend you're 10 years old.
Yeah.
What is your favourite TV show?
Favourite TV show at 10 years old? This is going to sound real bad, Dave. I used to stay up late at night and I used to watch Law and Order SVU, used to be on, but I think after that or before that was Sex and the City.
Right.
And I used to get right into that as well.
Understandably.
At 10 years old, because I used to live in a bit of a granny flat out the back. So I moved out there when I was about 9, 10. My brother was about 12.
Yep.
13. And, used to stay up late at night and watch, all that good good late night TV, Sex and the City, Law and Order.
I'm a product of late night television, so
Charmed, I think they started playing Charmed.
Nice,
all
very
that
nice.
kind of good stuff.
All right, what's your favourite ice cream as a kid?
So we had this German exchange student live with us for a year. He was doing like a year, right? And he exposed me to lots of really cool German cinema as well. And we used to go to the deli around the corner and buy tubs of black and gold Napolitana.
Oh, amen.
And just sit there, like 2 litre tub each, and we'd watch, like, there was one I remember watching called Bandits, and it was like a band of women, and they called themselves bandits because they're a band and they had tits.
Nice. I like it.
It's real
that
good.
Sounds good.
Yeah, but like then they escaped from prison and they were on the run from the cops and they made music, and it was the coolest German film I've ever. And I can't find it anywhere, man. If anyone knows
Leave
where to
it
get
with me. We'll see what the community
Bandits.
can
It's
come.
called Bandits. I don't know if that's the German name, but yeah. And yeah, eat Napolitana, black and gold in the yellow tub.
See, that's the memory. That is a film memory right there.
It is.
Favourite junk food as a kid?
It's probably still my favourite junk food now. Kettle chili chips.
Nice.
I can smash the big family bag of them like too fast. I've got to really lay off the potato chips.
All you need is family.
I'm having some realizations around potato chips lately, man.
Favourite book as a kid?
I used to get into Goosebumps and Animorphs.
Nice. Good.
Animorphs probably just edged out Goosebumps. I reckon the story was a lot darker, a lot deeper, a lot more interwoven, the storylines.
We got the Animorphs TV show on ABC, but we didn't get the Goosebumps TV show in Australia. We got Are You Afraid of the Dark instead.
And, the Animorphs TV show was a bit shit.
Yeah, but that's fine. It is what it is.
I just, after reading the books, Dave, I just always wish they put more effort into that TV show.
Mate, I spent many a Scholastic book fair buying the Star Wars Galaxy of Fear books and the Animorph books.
Yeah.
And your favourite toy as a kid?
Game Boy.
Nice.
Game Boy. Yeah. If I was 10 years old,
what
Game
colour
Boy,
was it?
I think I had the clear one, the old
best,
clear one.
the
And
best one.
I used to crank Pokemon.
Wow.
Mainly Pokemon. Big Pokemon addict. Yeah.
Very nice. All right, who goes on your Mount Rushmore of actors or actresses?
Tom Hardy.
Yep.
Got to have Tom Hardy there. Love that guy. Matt Damon. Susan Sarandon.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, I feel like, in some places she's very underrated and in others she's overrated, but I think she's rated just right.
Yeah.
Susan Sarandon. How many faces are there on Mount Rushmore?
3 of 4 so far.
Is there? Yeah.
You got one to go.
One more. That's a hard one, man. I'm gonna have to go for the actor in Old Boy, the Korean one. What's his name? I totally forgot his name. It's totally destroying me right now.
The guy from I Saw the Devil. I know who you're talking about.
You know that guy, the Korean guy.
I'm not even going to attempt to
that's what I mean.
It always
that
sounds
guy,
like,
everyone knows he's the Old Boy guy.
Yeah.
And he's all right. Yeah, him.
You're picturing him right now with the hammer held above his head. So
It's a weird Mount Rushmore, though.
But the thing I must appreciate about you've put a character actor on there. So you've got Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
So that already gives you such a huge berth of films.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like he could
I just
play
feel
anything.
like he's incredible. And like he needs to win some more awards or something, Yeah.
Nice.
He can do anything, that guy.
Would you prefer to watch a movie at home or at the cinemas?
Cinema. Although I do watch way too many movies at home as well. But
No such thing as way too many movies. Food of choice at the cinema?
I'm one of those guys that takes my own food, and before, used to have to sneak it in and stuff, always take a bag of kettle chili chips into the cinema. But I do like a tasty beverage at the cinema, and I do like getting the real jumbo size Sprite.
Shout out to Jamie listening right now at home. He has discovered the German version of Bandits up on Amazon.
Yes.
So they always wanted to be famous. I'll forward that on to you. But
Dave,
shout out.
You've got to watch it, man.
Jamie's the man.
You've got to watch it.
Awesome.
Bandits. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, get onto it. Get yourself a tub of Napolitana and just, go deep on the Bandits.
Eat it with your hand.
Yeah.
Eat it with your hand.
Just straight in.
Make it
2 fingers.
Make it event. Yep.
Napolitana fingers.
One in the brown, one in the pink.
That's right. Or a couple.
I know what's going on.
A couple in either one,
Yeah, I know what's happening.
Yeah.
Name an actor or actress you'd like to spend the night with.
Tom Hardy.
Yep, that's totally fine.
Do you know what I mean?
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I just wouldn't mind. Do you know this fun fact? Tom Hardy was actually a rapper. when he was a teenager.
Yeah,
and he's got
right.
an album. You can find it. Someone leaked it on YouTube.
Wow.
Of him rapping. Yeah, like full grimy UK type
I can
rap.
imagine.
Fucking
Yeah.
great, man.
That sounds insane.
Fucking great.
Who would play you in your biopic? Don't say Tom Hardy. Don't say Tom
Matt
Hardy.
Damon.
Matt Damon?
Matt Damon, man. Matt Damon all the way. I don't know how he'd go with the Aussie accent. That's the only
You
thing.
never know.
I reckon he'd do all right, but if I had to pick someone with an Aussie accent, I'd probably
I did hear
go-
that Neil Blomkamp wouldn't let him do a South African accent for Elysium, so
Yeah.
he might not be.
He might not be
You
great
might have a
at
Boston.
accents.
It might be you with a Boston accent. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe we could change the place I grew up. Yeah, maybe that'd be all right.
Nice. Which movie freaked you out the most as a kid?
Do you remember that film Species?
I do.
Yeah, Species. My friend played it to me, and then I used to have to walk under the window, like, and duck right under because I was worried she was like looking at me. And
No,
then
that's-
I
know.
started getting all weird ideas about splicing DNA and genes together because
Yeah.
they've got the alien DNA and they mix it with the girl's DNA. So
I guess it's indicative of our difference in age because I watched it for the nudity at the
Yeah.
time and I was like, wow, I
Yeah,
really like alien movies. now.
Yeah. No, it's a good movie. It's a good movie. I think the sequels were a bit poor.
Yeah.
But the original Species was amazing.
A friend of mine filmed a film locally.
Yeah.
And James Cromwell was in it. And when he was on set, he sent a photo of him and James on set.
Yeah.
I was like, can you ask him about Species 2, please?
Yeah.
Because of all the amazing, like, I'm sure everyone meets him and brings up Babe or something. I'm like, I've always had a dream of meeting celebrities and asking them about their, on paper, worst movie.
Yeah.
But I put that to rest that I'll never do it because I met Russell Crowe in Borough and I didn't bring up Virtuosity as much as I would have loved to.
Yeah.
TV show or movie from your childhood that you would like to reboot?
Well, we were talking about the Animorphs before.
Yep.
I wouldn't mind redoing that, but as like a really, sinister, dark film,
Yeah.
Because they had some pretty, like, the descriptions of some of the characters are in there are pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wouldn't mind redoing the Animorphs.
One famous person you would like to hit with a hammer?
This might upset a few people, Dave, but Cozzy,
Oh.
just brick him.
That's, you know what?
Is that all right?
It's
Is that okay?
it's
Some
your
people are
answer
a
to
bit
give.
like, South Aussie with Cozzy and a bit, proud, but the guy really, really annoys me.
Yeah, that's fine. He used to do, when I used to work where I used to work, I was up in time to watch him on whatever show he's on in the mornings.
Yeah.
And he'd have his joke of the week. And
Yeah.
it would make me want to go to the Sydney studios and hit him with a hammer.
And
so
like,
I can tell-
I think hitting someone with a hammer, I think I'd like to remove myself now that I'm older and I've got a lot more, wisdom and I'm a bit more zen. I'd probably just launch a hammer from across
You'd like
the room.
to see them hit with a hammer,
Yeah,
but
probably
not
just
do it.
throw it. No. I'd throw the hammer though. I wouldn't have the hammer still in my hand when it connected. Just so I had at least 1 degree of separation from the hit.
Nice. If you could make the entire population of the world watch just one film other than Melissa, would you use this power for good or bad? What is the entire world watching? Is it Bandits?
No, it's not Bandits. It's a film. It's a Chinese film called Electric Shadows.
Right.
And if you haven't seen it, go watch it. I watched it one night on SBS, late night SBS. And it's basically like the Chinese...
You had me at late night SBS.
Yeah, Chinese version of Cinema Paradiso, the Italian film. Yeah, a bit more modern and just the story's absolutely amazing. And I tell everyone to watch it. So if I could make everyone watch a film, I'd make them watch that just so they understand
Nice.
why I like it, yeah.
How many movies would you watch in a week?
Some weeks I can watch up to like 10, 12 films, Dave. Sometimes it gets really bad. I've got to really get on top of my sleep-wake routine because, the family goes to bed and there's me, because I don't even have a TV. I got a projector and I just got a wall screen and I just go for it pretty much most nights.
Nice. When you're not practicing your shadow puppets, that is.
Yeah. I mean, at the moment I'm studying film and TV at Uni SA, so I have to actually watch films as part of that as well. So getting into some real old school European art cinema at the moment.
No, you lost me at art.
French New Wave and Italian neorealism and
that's why
all that kind of stuff. You know,
go on YouTube and you hear what someone else said about it.
Yeah.
You just regurgitate it in class the next day. All right, and final question: what is the title track song from your biopic starring Matt Damon?
There's a song by the Dogheads, the same band. Dave played their song before, "My Only Dream," which is also the feature song in Melissa. But they've got it. They had one other song. They released one single before Ricky disappeared off the face of the planet and ended up in Egypt somewhere. And it's called Anubis, and it's actually an ode to the god that he worshipped. And yeah, that's the song, Dave.
Well, I think we need to hear it now.
Did you find it?
I did.
Yeah. It's hard to find.
I know. I had to do some tracking down, but I found it. It was on sale in the same place as Bandits on DVD.
Who would have thought?
So lovely. Let's get into it. This is DVG.
Anubis, life's gotta get better than this. Oh, Anubis.
The Bower Road Bike Park is located on Bower Road near Port Adelaide. It boasts 2 BMX tracks, dirt jumps and a pump track for all riders. The bike park is free for all to use and is run by a small dedicated team of volunteers who always welcome help from the community in maintaining the site. They always appreciate help keeping the track in top condition, and you can help out by clearing out rocks and removing any weeds, keeping it safe and free for our community. If you can spare some time, head along to the Bower Road Bike Park, Bower Road, Port Adelaide. WOWFM proudly supports community organisations.
Who deserves a second chance? Someone that's not broken hearts, but had theirs broken? Someone that's not taken all from a relationship, but has given their all unconditionally? Surely this someone deserves a second chance. The Animal Welfare League provides life-changing services to lonely and unloved dogs and cats. Our Wingfield and Edinburgh North shelters are full of animals waiting for second chances. Give a second chance and adopt today from the AWL, awlsa.com.au.
What were they, psychos or?
They look like psychos? Is that what they look like? They were vampires. Psychos do not explode when sunlight hits them. I don't give up how crazy they are.
Talking movies on the radio. This is Dave's Video Graveyard on 100.5 WOW FM.
Only after dark.
So apparently we have a listener overseas.
Yeah, there's a NJ Batty, the guy I was telling you about before, my creative partner and the other half of my brain. He's actually in Japan, so he won't be able to make it to the inaugural Soulpunch Film Festival. But he's going to deliver a welcome message to everybody there in video form, which will be exciting to see, I'm sure. He's been popping up in videos on Instagram in all sorts of weird locations in Japan, so I don't know what he's actually into over there at the moment. But he managed to get funding for our film and for the film festival, so let's just hope he's not in debt to any Yakuza or anything.
Let's just hope that, like, the live... Because I've seen he's been doing the live interview series.
Yeah.
Let's just hope that the backgrounds don't become more and more extravagant as it gets closer to the day. And then he's on a yacht in the last one, and then he messages you on Sunday. He's like, sorry, the money's gone.
Yeah. Yeah, let's just hope everything's above board and he's not getting himself into any trouble. Yeah. But yeah, he said he's listening from Japan and he's loving it.
Shout out to Japan.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Such a good show.
Run us through once more what you've got happening, where it's happening, how much, where you can get tickets.
So our short film, Melissa, will be screening at Soulpunch Film Festival. Soulpunch Film Festival will also be showing as part of the program, as part of the competition program, 8 short films from local filmmakers, and tickets are $9. You can get them, go to our Instagram, Soulpunch Film Festival Instagram, and you just follow the link in the bio, but it's a Ticketaboo website. Just buy your ticket on there. It's easy, so easy to do. They make it really easy for not just us as event organisers, but for people buying tickets. Get tickets. I think there's still some left, but I can't guarantee that they'll still be there tomorrow because they are selling quite fast. So get in, it's the talk of the town. I was at the shops yesterday and, got some groceries and the lady said, hey, you going to Soulpunch Film Festival? And I was like, yeah, definitely am. So people are talking about it, I was stopped at the lights the other day and there was a couple in their car talking about how bummed they were they couldn't get tickets the first time when it sold out. So I hope that whoever they are, they managed to get tickets on the second round.
Awesome. Now, give us a peek. It's next Monday morning. You've just woken up.
Yeah.
Soulpunch is behind you.
Yeah.
What's next for you guys?
Yeah, so we've got a bunch of short films in pre-production at the moment that are that work together with Melissa to make a larger story. So we'll get straight into them, and then also, like I said, start working on the Summer Soulpunch Film Festival, which will hopefully also be at the Odeon Star. So make sure you keep going to support cinemas. I know everyone's got streaming services and Netflix, etc., but get out to your local cinema. I heard they're upgrading the Piccadilly at the moment. That was where I saw my first ever film at the cinema. I can't wait to go back in there once they've upgraded there. It's exciting. I worked at Greater Union Arndale
Nice. Yep.
Yeah, in the projection room there, back when we were threading 35mm film on the old Vic projectors. And,
Nice.
you know, it's a great thing. You know, it's one of those experiences, human experiences that's, you know, since its inception has never really wavered. You know, going to the cinema is an experience.
Well, even the art of projectioning.
Yeah.
Projectionist.
Yeah.
Is it's a dying art form. Like, honestly, it's not going to be the same, and it's forever changing.
Well, yeah. So the reason I stopped working was because I helped roll out all of the digital projectors, and then, you know, my job was gone.
You were now
now
replaced by a button.
Well, yeah. Well, now one guy can just program everything from a laptop and send it to everywhere. You don't even need people up there, you know, threading film and breaking down film and stuff. But that's okay. That's okay as long as people are still going to the cinema, because you're never going to experience film the same way. And this is no disrespect to the outdoor cinemas as well, but you're in a room that's sound treated. You know, you got Dolby surround sound. You know what I mean? Like, you don't get that in any other setting except in an indoor cinema theatre where everything's, you know, jigged just right for your experience.
And anyone that says we can't lose them, look at DVD and video shops.
Exactly.
They're now all gyms.
Exactly.
So it can happen. So
Exactly.
we've got to keep supporting the arts.
I think there's only one shop left in Adelaide, which is sad.
Yeah.
I was supporting one on Tapley's Hill Road, I think.
As was I, yep.
She was like the second last one in
She was
Adelaide,
a
and I was
legend.
there. I was still there, and she held on for so
And
long.
We were there the night they announced the closing down.
Yeah.
And a month after the one in Grange closed down. So it was just it was just an ego thing by that point, which was such a shame, because Anthea, the owner, she was incredible.
Yeah.
Like, honestly.
Oh, she was amazing, man. I used to have such good chats with her.
We take the kids there weekly, at least 3 times a week, and I love that they grew up, because, you know, my oldest is 13, my youngest is 5 now.
Still had the experience.
They still have the experience of going to the store.
Yeah, well, my kids don't. My kids don't know what a video shop is, man.
Yep.
You know, that was my life, man. Like, you know, primary school, you know, every weekend, me and my mates, you know, ride the bike to the video store, you know, and we used to hire they used to get in all the old wrestling DVDs, and, you know, like, we were, you know, we had a good relationship with them from a young age. They used to get us in all the, like, rare UK WWF stuff that was, you know, like
Coliseum home video stuff.
like some real cool stuff, man. So
well, I'm the sad guy that built a video store in my carport, just so that every Friday night my kids go and pick a movie, and I've only got it's very self-serving. It's mostly stocked with my favourite childhood movies.
Yeah.
So they'll go out.
How many you got?
Thousands.
Yeah.
It would be in the thousands. But
videos
more so,
or DVDs?
Videos.
All
VHS.
videos.
Yep. I go to the wankiest point of, I also collect like old Movieland rewinders shaped like cars, so all your stuff like that, Movieland cups, Video Easy stuff. So I've got all that kind of stuff. So Friday night the kids will go and pick.
Come check it out.
Yeah,
one day,
man.
Sounds incredible.
The kids will go pick like Major Pain, and we'll watch that as a family. And I'm like, sucked in. You have to have my childhood. I feel like one of those dads that forces their kids to get good at sports.
Yeah.
I'm like, watch this movie. Watch this.
I do the same thing. Like, even to the point, like, my 5-year-old daughter is probably the next biggest film buff apart from me in the family, and, you know, she watches anything with me, man. Obviously I keep it, you know, relatively okay, but the other day, like, I was on Netflix, I think it was Netflix, one of those streaming ones, and I was like, oh, what can I watch? I want to give her some history, but I don't want anything too full on. And The Birds by Hitchcock, and I couldn't remember, like, I'd seen it, but I couldn't remember it, and it's rated PG on there. And, like, it's definitely not PG. So I'll just advise you, don't play The Birds by Hitchcock to your 5-year-old daughter.
I did the exact same thing with my kids with Signs.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's only rated PG, and I loved it. It is so scary that both of my youngest slept in our bed for a week.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, my daughter was freaking for a long time after that. Yeah, but
every time you go to the park and a bird lands.
Yeah, The Birds by Hitchcock. Do not believe the ratings of those old films. They're wrong.
That is it. And most importantly, where can people follow what's happening with Soulpunch?
Yeah, Soulpunch Film Festival on Instagram. You know, like I said, we're a 2-man team, so we just stick to one platform, and Instagram seems to be where everyone is these days anyway. So, yeah, jump over to Soulpunch Film Festival on Instagram, keep up to date with everything, and just make sure you get tickets, because it's like, we feel like we're making history you know, in Adelaide, this film festival is going to be amazing, and we're hoping to keep it going for years to come.
Look, you know, Tropfest had to start somewhere. All these film festivals started with their first one.
One other thing, like, we're going to be giving out trophies as well, you know, and the winner of this first Soulpunch Film Festival, the winner of the Ultimate Soulpunch Award, has been, you know, likened to the Golden Lion and the Palme d'Or. So,
well, you're holding a piece of paper right now that just has Melissa written over and over for all the categories.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
You know, spoiler alert. No, it should be fantastic. Julz, thank you so much for joining us. You have to come back, do your 10 all-time favourite films.
Definitely.
So,
That'll be good.
This is Dave's Video Graveyard on 100.
Thanks for having me.
Anytime, dude. This is Dave VG.